Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, well, we're doing something a bit different. We're taking this fascinating shortcut, you could say, into one single piece of ancient wisdom.
That's right, Proverbs 20.13. But the way we're approaching it is unique.
Exactly. Forget standard commentary. We've got these incredibly vivid, almost bizarre visual memory aids, mnemonics.
And layered on top of that, this allegorical story featuring a very strict vixen farmer.
So our mission today is really about understanding how these concrete images work. How does a sumo wrestler, or a rose of all things, help us really get this core lesson about diligence?
Yeah, and about material satisfaction, too. It's like we're trying to find the operating manual behind the proverb itself. How do they make sure this stuck?
That's the key, isn't it? Not just what it says, but how they taught it. The basic message is pretty straightforward. Do not love sleep lest you become poor. Open your eyes so that you may be satisfied with food or bread. That's our destination.
But the map, the way we get there, is built on these visuals. And it's a brilliant approach, especially for, anyone trying to learn quickly like you listening. It anchors these abstract ideas.
Okay, so let's dive into the first part, the warning. Do not love sleep. The visual for love here, to have. It stopped me. It's a rose. Not exactly warm and fuzzy.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
A rose is beautiful, yes, appealing, but it's passive and thorny.
Right.
By linking that to loving idleness, the source sort of hints that this kind of love is seductive, maybe even a bit dangerous. It demands nothing but admiration.
And the thing we're tempted to love, sleep, shenah, the visual for that is, well, less surprising. Just a sleepy-looking person, drooping eyelids, the whole deal.
Yeah, that one's pretty direct. But when you put the sleepy person with the rose...
Okay. It becomes about embracing this, passive, seductive oblivion.
Exactly. And the cost. Poverty. But here's another twist. The source doesn't give us an image for poverty itself.
Oh, what does it use?
It uses the consequence. The word for dispossess or take possession, torēsh. And the image for that is a single fenced field plot.
Huh, a fenced field. Why so specific? Why not, I don't know, an empty wallet?
Well, think about the context. The proverb talks about fundamental sustenance food, bread. Historically, that comes from the land.
Okay.
So a fenced plot represents ownership, stability, wealth that needs work. And the mnemonic makes it clear. Possession isn't passive.
Yeah.
If you love that sleep rose, that field plot, your stability gets lost.
Wow. So it's not just becoming poor, it's actively losing what you have because you didn't act.
Precisely. It makes the warning feel much more immediate. You lose the ground under your feet.
Okay, that's powerful. So let's flip the coin. The antidote is alertness. Open your eyes.
Huh.
The word oper, paki. The image is a door.
Yeah, another surprising one.
It really is. Why not just an open eye? A door feels deliberate, like moving between states.
I think that's exactly the insight. Sleepiness can just happen to you passively, but opening a door, that's an act of will.
A transition.
Right. From unawareness, maybe inside your own head, to awareness and action out in the world. It suggests diligence isn't just seeing, it's actively engaging, breaking through a barrier.
So the door leads to the eye, ayin, which thankfully is just a literal eye.
Yes, nice and straightforward there.
So willfully engage your perception.
Okay.
And the payoff. Being satisfied or full, sava, and that image is unforgettable. A sumo wrestler.
Hey, yeah, that robust, undeniably well-fed physique. It just screams fullness, material security, abundance made physical.
I have to pause on that one, though. A sumo wrestler. It leans so heavily into the material side, consumption even. Are we sure this isn't just about getting rich? Is there a deeper wisdom, or is it purely practical?
That's a fair question, but we need to see it in context. The goal here seems to be diligence leading to stability. The visual anchors satisfaction in being visibly secure. In an ancient agricultural setting, implied by that field plot, real satisfaction was securing food, lechem, and maintaining that robust state. It's a very direct, tangible promise. Your work leads to undeniable stability. You won't starve.
Got it. The sumo wrestler is like the ultimate guarantee. Your effort pays off in the most basic, essential way.
Exactly. So we've got this stack of images, the tempting rose, the willful door, the precious field plot, the abundant sumo. Kind of strange on their own.
Definitely memorable, though.
Right. But the real magic happens when we see them in action. Which brings us to the vixen farmer.
Okay, so how does this story, this allegory, tie it all together? How does the vixen make it actionable?
Well, she provides the context, the authority. She's the vixen farmer, and get this, she symbolizes the chapter number 20.
Oh, clever.
And she carries a lamp, which illuminates her patrol, symbolizing verse 13. So the story structure itself helps you remember where to find the proverb, Proverbs 20.13.
Okay, that's neat. But why a vixen? Foxes can be cunning, alert, but sometimes destructive too.
The source paints her as extremely strict, highly alert, the perfect opposite of sleepiness. She's like that internal supervisor, the voice of vigilance.
Holding the lamp of judging.
Exactly. And as she inspects her farm, she consciously stops herself from being lenient. She uses this internal break, the phrase here, do not, owl, no overlooking laziness on her watch.
And her patrol immediately finds the negative example.
Yes. She finds the Rose employee, the one linked to that tempting verb to love, fast asleep.
Yeah.
In a sleeping bag, no less.
Huh. So the complete picture of choosing passivity.
Right, and the consequence is right there with him. He's situated on a wasted, barren field plot.
The physical representation of that fenced plot, torēsh, being lost. The potential is there, the claim is marked, but it's failing because he is.
And the vixen stands there, the source says, and she reflects on the need for judgment. She internally processes that warning word, otherwise pan. It adds weight, Loss is coming if this continues. No soft landings here.
But the inspection continues. She doesn't just stop at the failure.
No, she moves on and finds a positive example, the total contrast. We shift from the sleeping bag to someone actively working.
And this is where the door image comes back in.
Beautifully. The working employee is described as having a face with a door attached that opens wide. It sounds comical, maybe?
It's definitely striking.
But it vividly shows that switch. From close-off perception to active work. The active diligence starts with choosing to open your eyes, your door face, and engage.
So that's active engagement, Pakach. And the result? He is the sumo wrestler, Sava.
The loop closes instantly. His physique is a reward. It's the visual proof of the satisfaction that comes directly from that active, door-opening work.
You literally see the result of the work on the worker.
Precisely. And the story adds another layer. He pauses, eats the sustenance bread, Lashem renewing his strength.
And goes right back to work.
Understanding completely that the food, the satisfaction, comes from keeping those door eyes open. Cause and effect are totally linked.
Okay, when you put it all together, like the rose, the door, the vixen, the sumo, it does tell a really coherent story about intentionality.
Yes. The abstract command of the proverb becomes actionable. Sleep isn't just passive, it's a trap, the rose. Alertness isn't just a state, it's a choice, the door.
Which brings us back to the big takeaway, I think. The vixen in that fenced field. They seem to redefine ownership. It's not passive.
Not at all. Discipline, alertness, they aren't just nice-to-haves. They're the ongoing cause of abundance. And sloth, loving that rose sleep, leads directly to losing what you have. Dispossession.
So possession itself requires constant effort. That vixen farmer patrolling with her lamp, she represents that the world, or maybe reality itself, demands vigilance.
Right. That fenced plot, your stability, your wealth, you don't just have it, you have to maintain it constantly with that open eye, that open door face. The moment you stop looking, stop engaging, it starts to fade, even if the fence is still standing.
That's a really powerful metaphor for anything we consider ours, isn't it? Our career, our skills, maybe even our knowledge.
Definitely. The rose of comfort, of ease is always there, tempting us. But that internal vixen, that chapter 20 authority, she keeps walking around, lamplit, always watching, always judging.
So as you, listening, reflect on this deep dive and these, frankly, unforgettable images, maybe the question is this.
If the core source of your possession, your stability, is your knowledge, your skills, what are you doing tonight to keep your eyes open? Because that vixen's inspection, it doesn't stop when the sun goes down. That vigilance needs to be constant.